a campus for a game at this time of the season, whether it be you did have to put up with things like the traffic and the parking, which were a little bit more difficult than usual. But from the atmosphere surrounding the game to the pregame to the halftime show to what was, honestly a celebration of Baton Rouge, all of those things went off without a hitch. And at least as far as I can see, this is a day that Baton Rouge can say the entire city came together, had a fantastic celebration, and can be proud of what happened today on LSU's campus. Now, the football, on the other hand, was another story. That was not a terribly competitive football game, and that's being kind. LSU, from the opening kickoff, which they recovered a fumble to cash in points there, all the way through a first quarter that saw them score 5 touchdowns and add in a safety for good measure. 37 points there, which was the most LSU had ever scored in a quarter, to a 51-0 halftime lead, to a second half that was run with almost exclusively reserve players that ended up in a 65-17 win. I don't know that we learned a ton about either one of these football teams. This on the field was a mismatch. Some of the things that we had looked for after the first game were some changes along the offensive line, and they did that with Charles Turner going in to start at center, Garrett Dellinger moving from center to left guard, and Miles Frazier and Anthony Bradford swapping positions on the right side of the offensive line. We wanted to see if Keyshawn Boutte would be involved in the offense, and certainly he was, with 5 catches tonight, plus he had a 41-yard run. We wanted to see LSU establish a ground game outside of the quarterback, and they certainly did that to the tune of 230 yards. Wanted to see the special teams mistakes cleaned up, and a lot of them were. We thought we would see the same punt returner. We saw a new punt returner. For people asking when would Garrett Nussmeier get his chance, that answer came tonight. It was early. We'll certainly have more to talk about where Nussmeier is concerned, and we saw Walker Howard late in the game make his LSU debut. Southern kept playing, actually into the fourth quarter, playing all the way down to the last snaps, taking a timeout to kick a field goal on the last play of the game, and that's just Coach Dooley telling his team that you play to the end, no matter what the score is, and certainly Southern did that. So, Jeremy, I did not go to the game, but between pregame, frankly, getting from pregame to the stadium, I wouldn't have made it, and making it here would have been a little bit difficult too. So I watched the game on television, but you were there. So describe, you've been on that campus a bunch of times. You've seen a lot of LSU football game, played in a bunch of games. Give me your thoughts on what you saw today.
Yeah, I thought it was a great turnout, especially, watching, the COVID rag season and watching last year, especially the latter half of the season. Not much attendance in Death Valley and not much buzz going on with tailgating. But to say that you lost the first game and to get the turnout you got today, I thought was great for the city of Baton Rouge. Obviously we've never had this matchup, so you saw a lot of Southern pride, more Southern pride than I've ever seen today. And I actually heard people having a conversation, and they were happy that they scored. They're like, we scored we scored a couple of times, and they were so excited about that. So I think, all in all, I think for all parties, Southern got a nice chunk of change to come play in this game. And I thought for LSU, they fixed a lot of the woes that they saw in week 1. So I think all in all, this is a great day for the city. Obviously got the bands at halftime coming together and putting that big 225 on the field, which I haven't seen ever in my time here in Baton Rouge. So all that great times, and I think for LSU, they're going to feel really great about going into next week.
My take on the matchup has been the same throughout, and it's every year we do this. I would rather there not be FBS versus FCS games. They're almost always lopsided, and sometimes they can really do some damage to a team that is trying to get through a season from an injury standpoint. That being said, if you're going to play an FBS versus an FCS game, do it inside the state. Do it, if you can, inside the city. From all accounts, today was a terrific celebration. If they do it again, like to see them do it in week 0. Might add even more to the intrigue of what we saw there today. But for LSU to when you go into a game like this, Jeremy, and you know you've got such an advantage, you want to see some things. There's certain personnel decisions that were made out there tonight. I don't know how much from an execution standpoint you got done, but give me your thoughts on the personnel changes that they made tonight and some of the things on special teams specifically that they tried to clean up from a week ago.
Yeah, I think for me, that's something that Coach Kelly talked about early in the week, and that's that we would see some offensive line, move around and some change. And I thought, to me, those changes were, they worked dividends. I think if you're looking at the starting ones and the starting ones on both sides of the ball, I thought, they got exactly everything that you wanted to have out of this football game. I think we just watched Appalachian State play against Texas A&M, and I'm sure if you asked any Texas A&M fan going into that game, they would have laughed at you and said, hey, this is a game where the walk-ons get in and we get everyone in and we go about our business that way. So anytime you line up and put the pads on, that the other opponent is going to come out there and try to win the game, and that's exactly what Southern did. It's just unfortunate for them. It was just a mismatch. But for LSU, I thought watching that offense, watching Jaden get so much rhythm back there at the quarterback position, I thought going forward that's something you can build off of, and the defense just played lights out. Now you're not going to get much answers going against that Southern offense, but I thought the defense just played, lights out compared to how they came out against FSU.
We thought that we would see Malik Neighbors again back on punt returns. That's something that Brian Kelly had talked about earlier in the week. Instead, we saw Greg Clayton, who's a transfer from Texas San Antonio, go back there and field punts early in the game, and did so without incident. Getting Garrett Nussmeier in the game was something that we anticipated. Jaden Daniels was nearly perfect in right about a quarter worth of work. And then we saw Nussmeier, and Nussmeier, frankly, early on struggled, was inaccurate with some of the passes, but it was the first interception that he threw, the pick six interception that he threw, that gives you some insight as to probably what the biggest reason that Jaden Daniels won this job was, which is that under duress, Nussmeier will force things. And you saw that very evident tonight, whereas the staff may have preferred that Daniels not run as quickly as he did a week ago. They were confident in his ability to protect the football. And for Nussmeier, he'll make some big plays. We saw this in his time last year, but he'll also make some big mistakes. And I think that, as much as anything, might have been what separated them when you got into camp. Daniel's ability to run was highlighted a lot, but I think we probably underestimated how much his ability to protect the football weighed into the decision of Brian Kelly and his staff when it came to picking a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I thought, for me, Jaden showed why he earned the starting spot tonight in this game. To me, he just showed all the poise you want to have, especially, when you're coming off the adversity they came off of week 1. And obviously to start that game and most of that football game, the offense just didn't look like, what Coach Denbrock and what Coach Kelly wanted to see from that offense. But I thought tonight, with them coming out trying to get Kayshawn involved early, which is your best player, and the way Jaden really, used his legs and extended plays and looked to throw the ball downfield. That's an area of his game that he really didn't show in week 1. Week 1, it looked like he was just looking to run. Today he had some plays where he actually pulled it down and actually still was looking downfield and finding some of those big-time targets. So if you're going to see that type of production from Jaden Daniels, to me, you can see exactly why he earned the job. He was smart with the ball, didn't put the ball in harm's way, and, allowed, those Southern defenders to get their hands on it. And to me, Garrett is just a ways away from playing with that consistency. So I think going forward, the offense has definitely showed, everything that the coaches wanted to see, and you can kind of build on a lot of the stuff they did with mixing up the offensive line and then obviously with Jaden at quarterback and getting the ball to the receivers.
So our first extended look at Armani Goodwin. You're running back. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought to me going into the first game, I thought to me he was the best actually runner of the football. And to me, he got on the second level and was, running hard and making some guys miss. And so you're going to need that fast of the ball. I think for this team, it's going to be so refreshing to get Emery back. But, I think you pair Emery with Goodwin. I think they should be getting the guys that get the bulk of the actual touches from the running back position.
LSU piled up 230 yards on the ground tonight, and 7 different players carried the ball, and Butte was one of those with a 41-yard run. 499-9898 is the number to call on the LaBerge Casino phone lines. We'll hear your thoughts on tonight's ball game and on another big upset weekend in college football. 5 different teams in the top 20 go down today, and as it happens, we do have the Mississippi State game on right now, so LSU's next opponents. Hey, Jeremy, I'm going to save you the time of having to watch film this week. We get the game right here. We can watch it in its entirety here. Yeah. Right now, State is leading 15-10 over Arizona with about 5.5 minutes to go to the break. 499-9898 is the number on the LaBerge hotline. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 game day continues. LSU wins it tonight by a score of 65-17. 499-9898 is the number on LeBear's hotline. Let's start off with Glenn in New Mexico. Glenn, welcome into the show. Hello, Glenn? Glenn? All right, Glenn's gone. Let's try Craig in New Iberia. Craig, welcome into the show.
Hey, man, how y'all doing?
Good.
That was a great day on campus. I mean, after the last 2 years, I really enjoyed today. That was nice.
Where were you on campus before the game?
Nicholson, off of Nicholson, front the track stadium.
Which, as I understand it, was full from the mid part of the morning to the rest of the day. So
yeah, I mean, it really resembled the 2019 season. I mean, not with obviously not the same team, but just the atmosphere was good. It was nice to be back. I mean, compared to what 2020 was and 2021. I mean, this was a really good time. I really enjoyed it. We was on campus pretty much all day. Really, just a great time. It was great to be back in Tiger Stadium and tailgating and having a good time. Team played well. I mean, of course, the competition wasn't what it was last week, but I mean, they did look a lot better. I think they must have listened to the radio show last week, and they got Jay Daniels rolling out instead of dropping straight back.
Well, we sent him a copy of the tape. I mean, it was the least we could do, Craig.
Well, I mean, the first play he takes the ball and he's rolling out. I'm like, well, he listened to the show last week, so
yeah, we're here to help.
Yeah, I mean all the time, buddy. But anyway, I got a question. Did anybody? And it's football, so did anybody watch the Alabama-Texas game?
Yes.
But what do you think about that safety? Was that a safety or was that just a Bama privilege call?
I wasn't. We had the game on during pregame. I saw the replay. From what I saw, the one time I saw the play, I thought that it would be a safety, but I didn't have I'll be honest with you, I didn't have the best angle. So I want to go back and look at it again and get every possible angle I can get out of it. Alabama today had probably more penalties called on them than I think any game in recent memory. So I don't know how much and look, they missed some obviously, but my understanding is that call should have been a little bit different. Cole, before, what he was saying, Jeremy, about Jaden Daniels is actually something we were talking about during the break before we came back on, and how this time from the very beginning of the game they got him into a comfort zone.
Yeah, I thought that was so important, and I thought for me they came out laser focused. And I know the first play kind of wanted to get the ball to Kayshawn a little quicker than he did, but I thought for me they made those adjustments that you want to see. I thought going into this season, I trusted what Denbrock can do as a play caller. Obviously, we know the stature of Coach Kelly and what he's done, coaching football games. So I didn't think the order of operation would look as bad as it did against Florida State. And I thought they made all those adjustments that you want to see. I thought it was so great to get that kind of little reverse to Kayshawn, get, JD5 on the move, and do all those little things that they should have did in week one. And I think they'll just continue to build on that, as the season goes on.
Cole is in Zachary. Cole, welcome into the show.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, Cole.
Yeah, so it was a great moment for me. My sister was celebrating her birthday today, and me and my family were at the game today, so that was great. And it was a great historic moment, not just for the city of Baton Rouge, not just both LSU and Southern, but also for the entire state of Louisiana. It was a great moment, witness history.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the game.
Yeah, and also, are we not going to talk about App State now?
App State. Here's the thing about App State, okay? And I did watch a good bit of that game. This was not a fluke, okay? I gotta pull up the box score, but late in the game, A&M had like 8 first downs. A lot of times you'll see an upset of that magnitude. A&M was just under a 3 touchdown favorite in that game, and you'll say, okay, there was a special teams something, there was a fluke turnover, any of those things. Defensively, App State took it to Texas A&M. In fact, the fluke touchdown came on a kickoff return by Texas A&M. So it was anything but. A&M finished with 9 first downs today. App State outgained them 315 to 186. And you can go ahead and start the quarterback controversy, I guess, right now, or the quarterback questions right now, because Haynes King threw for 97 yards today. So, listen, I didn't get to see every play of the Alabama game with pregame, but I saw that App State A&M game, and let me tell you something. App State physically roughed them up, man. I mean, this was no fluke. This was not anything that App State didn't earn today.
Look, I'm chomping at the bit to get to Hunt and Hill on Monday because Hunt Palmer has been telling me, look, man, A&M, they've been recruiting their tails off. They got money out the wazoo. Look at Jimbo. He's a national championship coach, man. Don't you see everything they're building? I'm like, dude, it's A&M. Don't worry about it. They're going to screw it up. They're not ready to do the big dance with the big boys, and you saw that on full display. I think anytime you watch a matchup between, a Power 5 school that's one of the top 6 ranked teams in the country, you expect them to totally dominate up front. And I thought, watching Appalachian State run the offense, they did a great job controlling clock, running the ball, which you should never do against a Power 5 team. And I thought, A&M's order of operation on offense, they couldn't get their run game going better than what they wanted to do going into that game. And you think against a team like App State, who just gave up 63 points last week, you'd be able to do something against that team. But to me, it's just exactly what I thought about A&M.
And congratulations, by the way. You're both right. Hunt is right. They have had very highly ranked recruiting classes, and they do have plenty of money. And you're right. They're not ready to dance on the big stage. So, in my opinion, you're both right. Back to the phone lines, to the LeBerge hotline. Let's go to Mike is in Ethel. Mike, welcome into the show.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Mike.
Listen, Jeremy, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
So you played college ball and professional ball. How do you feel about the swagger the guys carried tonight on their success based on their opponent they played tonight and taking into consideration the way they performed last weekend? Should they have been a little more humble, or do you think it's okay to be so dramatic and, all the celebrations?
No, I think you got to celebrate. I think people don't realize you only get so many opportunities to go out there on Saturday to do it. And I know the fans get to tune in on Saturday for 3 hours, but these players put work in from January all the way up until, they get these moments on Saturday. So anytime you get to go out there and, all the stuff you've been working on at practice, it comes out to have success, and that means scoring touchdowns, getting big turnovers. You have to celebrate those things, especially as teammates. It brings a rapport amongst everyone. You want to see all your teammates going out there and having success. It doesn't matter who it's against. Anytime you line up on there on Saturdays and you make big-time plays, you got to celebrate with your teammates. So I'm not too upset with that. I think especially, after playing the way they did and losing the game they did last week, that can be demoralizing. And so anytime you get to go out there and make some big-time plays and celebrate your teammates, I'm all with that for the guys going out there doing it.
499-9898 is the number on the LeBerge hotline. We'll come back with more of your phone calls. LSU wins it tonight, 65-17. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I'm Jay Ducote, I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana Barbecue Sauce, Louisiana Molasses Mustard, Spicy and Sweet Barbecue Rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I am Juliette, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women, women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis, but I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
The 8.1.
We'll be sitting there till Monday.
So high. Eagle 98.1 game day. We're laughing at the guy, the yo-yo that walked out onto the field like he was just walking down the sidewalk and got a trip to the Hooskow out of that. 499-9898 is the number to call. Keith is in New Orleans. Keith, welcome into the show.
Okay.
Hey, Keith, go ahead.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
Good.
All right, yeah. Just got back to the hotel room to New Orleans. Man, are y'all concerned with the running game?
Jeremy, you the running back?
To me, yeah. I think, it's not DEFCON 5 or anything like that, but I think it's going to be something that, it's not going to be the LSU Les Miles days of old where every Saturday you walk out there, you're going to rush for 150. Doesn't matter who you're playing. I think they're going to have to mix it in there and try to, do some different things, strategic-wise to get the run game going. But I also think, too, getting Emery back, I kind of want to see what this run game looks like with Emery back there and getting him some touches. I think he's just probably a little more special than the guys they have right now as far as making guys miss and getting some big-time runs. So I'll judge it then when they get Emery back. For right now, I do think it can be a cause for concern for this offense.
This offensive line combination, this particular five in this order, has what a handful of practices under their belt. That's the other part of this that you would hope with more reps, more continuity. This is probably 3 or 4 different combinations that they've looked at as a starting unit since the start of camp, at least 3. And I think it's probably 4. So hopefully that will improve. Colby is in Baton Rouge. Colby, welcome into the show.
Charles.
Yes.
I don't usually call in because I'm usually at home and sleep by the time this goes on, and I'm a little upset, Charles.
Why are you upset?
Charles, I've been coming to games for over 30 years, and I understand the pageantry. I enjoyed the atmosphere, but pregame and post-game traffic today has been no less than a nightmare. This is unbelievably bad.
So in other words, you haven't made it home yet.
I'm not. I typically laugh at the critical folks that are like, "I'm stuck in traffic. This is ridiculous."
Well, you should have been following the guy before here. He made it all the way to New Orleans already, and you still stuck in Baton Rouge in traffic?
Even getting to the game, I mean, I came out early. Yes, there was a lot of folks early in the morning. I went and had breakfast at our usual tailgate, and traffic was okay. I mean, it was easy getting there, easy getting home. Went home for a little while, came back. When I came back, no semblance of any guidance from any police on any traffic, where there was sitting still for 15 minutes at a time with no movement in any traffic on main corridors. And there's like no cop to say, hey, move along or move over to the side. So, yeah, that was frustrating. But then after the game, I've heard from no less than 5 people going, I've been stuck in the same spot for 15 minutes on Burbank. And I get that. That is during the game, everybody's leaving. I mean, we're 2 hours removed. I've been in my vehicle for an hour and 15 minutes, and I've went maybe a half a mile.
You get somewhere in the vicinity of 200,000 people got to that campus today. We'll probably get some numbers next week. And there's only so many arteries that service it. So I don't know what to tell you. This was pretty predictable. When you have an LSU football game that's full, it's going to take you a long time to get in there and a long time to get out. And today, Jeremy, you were out on campus. How many more people? No way to I guess know this without maybe having an aerial view. How many people were on campus today that didn't go to the game? Because you had a full, but middle of the first quarter, you had a pretty full stadium, and so now you're sitting, over 95,000 people, and then you have all the people that went to campus, went to the tailgates, and didn't go to the game.
Yeah,
there were a lot of those.
Yeah, I think, this game is definitely something different that this campus hasn't ever seen, like literally hasn't ever seen. And that's getting a lot of people who support Southern from this area coming on campus and just want to be in the atmosphere. And so I think traffic-wise, being a kid from Baton Rouge, I know my little ins and outs. I know how to avoid, being stuck in traffic for a very long time. But if you aren't, there's certain ways you can get caught up in traffic and you can be sitting there. I told Hunt this story last time, and it was the biggest mistake I ever made as a LSU football player, and I decided to park at football ops, after during the Alabama game when we played them in 2012.
Oh, you wanted to spend the night?
I definitely just about did that because I didn't get home. My apartment's literally probably 0.5 miles away from the actual indoor facility to where I actually was going, the West Campus Apartments, and it took me probably 3.5 hours just to get, half a mile to where I was going. So I learned my lesson. You definitely don't want to be on River Road. There's certain spots you don't want to be trapped on, but I think for this game itself, you probably see more traffic than you've probably ever seen, especially for an FCS team.
That game I remember because it's the only game we ever had traffic after postgame. It's an hour and a half until we start the show. It's 2 more. It's 3.5 hours. That Alabama game is the only one. We walked out of walk-ons, and it's like, are you kidding me? There's still traffic. So yes, I remember that one. Brad in West Virginia is next. Brad, welcome into the show.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Hey, Brad.
All these guys complaining about the traffic. Let me tell you something. My wife came down in the third quarter and asked me to blow up 30 balloons for my daughter's birthday tomorrow morning. And, it's not just 30 balloons. It's like I need 8 purple ones large. The pink ones, I need 4 medium ones. And I need, the white ones small. And I need 4 small ones, 4 medium ones. And, it's just ridiculous. Anyway.
Please tell me she wrote all that down for you.
No, she didn't. But by the time I was
you're supposed to know.
Well, I figured by the time I was halfway through, man, she wouldn't know what was medium and large or whatever. So I just blew them up. So, but anyway, look, I agree with y'all. We didn't really learn much from this game, but I have 3 takeaways that I want your opinion on. The first one is, I think we know who our starting quarterback is. So, get off Tiger droppings and, stop asking for nuts. We know who the guy is. The second thing is, I think we have a guy that can catch punts. He had a decent return. He seemed confident back there, and so that was good. The third thing is, I don't think Mississippi State's going to have much to know who they're playing. We played a quarter with this new line. I just don't think they're going to have much film on what team they're going to see. So I think that's a plus. And they're playing a tough game right now with Arizona, so we'll have plenty of film on them. So anyway, let me hear your thoughts on that, and it's great to hear y'all again this season. Thank you, Brad. Good luck with the birthday. Tell your daughter happy birthday.
All right, you want the quarterbacks, the punt returner, or the or state film? Which part of this you want?
I'll tackle the state film, and I'll do a little punt returner. I think for me, state's gonna have the film on the guys. I think all the guys that played, from Frazier to Dellinger to Turner, they watch those guys play. It's not like this is just some unfound guy that we've never seen before, and they're gonna be worried about that. I think it's not gonna be much that's gonna be a huge advantage going into this Mississippi State game. And I think for me, seeing Hinton back there, I think a lot of people don't know this. That's Jarvis Landry's little cousin, so. He got some Louisiana flavor to him, and so he got that dog in him. So I think for me, I would have loved to see Malik get a little more nod back there, but if they're moving past Malik and they feel like someone's going to catch it every time, I think that's a lot more important than a guy.
Clayton is related to Jarvis Landry?
Yes.
I learned something new tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Gregory. Yep, little Greg. Yep, that's Jarvis's cousin. But I think for me, if they're going to go that route, I think the big playability of you possibly taking one back to the house is actually a little smaller. But if you're going to get a guy that's going to catch it every time, I think that's a lot more important than a guy that may return one back, but that's possibly going to drop one.
As far as the quarterbacks go, we thought from the very beginning that Daniels would be the starting quarterback. It was a competition. They did split a lot of reps during camp, but again, when the decision came down, there were a couple things. Obviously, Daniels is the more elusive runner of the two, and the arm strength, I think, on the two kids is comparable, maybe a little bit of an edge to Nussmeier, but the inability or the ability of Daniels to protect the football might have been understated a little bit. We talked about it a little bit, but we probably didn't talk about it enough. Nussmeier will force things, and with the amount of pressure that is going to be generated against LSU's offensive line, which is now into multiple different scenarios, Nussmeier forcing balls. I mean, that play tonight, okay, LSU won the game won the game easy, but that's the kind of play that can cost you a game on another night. Mm-hmm. And Daniels does not make that play. If he's got somebody behind him like that, he'll throw the ball away. He'll take the sack, whatever. What I would tell Nussmeier is something that Bill Arnsparger used to say a lot when he was a coach here, which is there's nothing wrong with punting. Now, what he meant was if the possession ends in a kick, it's okay. Obviously you don't want to punt, but it beats the hell out of a turnover, and that's something that Nuss just is still, I think, kind of fighting with a little bit. His desire to make a play sometimes leads to some foolish decisions, and the pick six tonight was a really, really foolish decision. That he had almost not almost. He had zero chance to make a play there.
Yeah.
It's at that point, it's just degrees of bad. Are you going to take the sack? Are you going to throw it away? Or are you going to try to make a play and make this 10 times worse? And unfortunately, that's the one he picked. And I believe, Jeremy, that was one of the things that was at the very top of the list of the decisions made by this coaching staff when it came to quarterback playing time is, hey, listen, we know that Daniels is not nearly as likely to make that kind of forced play as Nussmeier is.
Yeah, and I thought to me that was on full display why JD5 earned the starting job for this team. Even in the Florida State game, you can't really count too many times where he threw the ball in harm's way and Florida State defenders were dropping interceptions or anything like that. He's just a lot more smart with the football. And to me, everyone kind of knows who's been listening to me before this season. I've been, in the full camp of kind of pushing Garrett Nussmeier and, kind of wanting to see what he could bring for this team. But, you kind of saw that on full display today on why this coaching staff kind of doesn't really trust him at the level they trust JD5 of, being a quarterback every single down. And you're going to have those snaps, where Garrett, there may not be the best block, front, and it may not be, the best, receivers getting the most separation. And when those plays happen, his decision-making has just kind of, you've seen over his, his freshman year and this season, he'll put the ball in harm's way. And when you're in a tight SEC game, those are the type of plays that lose your football game. So with Garrett, you see the arm talent. I think, anyone from watching him play, you can see the ball coming out of his hands, just differently than a lot of guys we have on the roster. But I think his decision-making time and time again is kind of what, allowed JD5 to kind of take the lead and really be that guy that's going to lead this football team.
And it's not altogether unpredictable. I do believe that Daniels made his 31st career start tonight. Nussmeier's made one. Daniels may very well have made some of these same mistakes earlier in his career. You learn. You get better. Daniels has been playing college football for 4 years. He's been a starter for the previous 3, and now he's a starter this year. Nussmeier's got, I think, one career start, and I'm not sure how many attempts, but it's not many. Okay, he's at the beginning of his career. Daniels is closer to the end of his college career. He knows better. He's learned. He's all of these mistakes that Nussmeier has made. Daniels probably made them 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So the experience level is not insignificant here. It's heavily weighted towards Jaden Daniels. 499-9898 is the number to call on the LaBerge hotline. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Pods has you covered. Mention my name, get a 15% discount. Go to pods.com.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
That view is amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper.
And each day ends watching a star-filled sky.
Whoa.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. Visit your local Toyota dealer or Toyota.com for your ready-for-anything Toyota Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places. See packages and options at Toyota.com for feature availability.
Robinson Brothers Ford. For 75 years, the name Ford buyers know and trust. Whether you're buying your first Ford or upgrading your current Ford car, truck, or SUV, Robinson Brothers Ford makes it easy. Online or on the lot, save on a great selection of new Fords with more arriving daily. Plus, now is a great time to sell your vehicle to Robinson Brothers Ford. Robinson Brothers is buying every car, truck, and SUV we can, even purchasing some vehicles for more than what you paid for it. Hurry to Robinson Brothers Ford. RobinsonBrothers.com.
Honesty, integrity, attention to detail, and dedication. Lewis Mechanical Contractors has been providing top quality plumbing services to Baton Rouge since 1960. Your peace of mind was their business then and still is now. Whatever you need, repair, installation, replacement, they are the area's trusted source for all plumbing jobs, big and small. Call 927-6520. That's 927-6520.
Lewis Mechanical, keeping plumbing humming.
Brandon Holly here. Siding, windows, even doors. ReliefWindows.com.
98.1 WDGL and HD1 Baton Rouge. 98.1.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues here. 499-9898 is the number on the LaBerge hotline. Baylor knocking on the door here. 10 minutes to go. They are inside the 5-yard line. BYU leads it 20-13. Baylor has just scored a touchdown that will, with the extra point, tie this game. Been a real physical game out in Provo. At halftime, Mississippi State leads over Arizona 18-10. 499-9898 is the number to call. Brian in Baton Rouge is next. Brian, welcome into the show.
How y'all doing?
Good, Brian. Good.
Well, first off, shout out to Jeremy Hill. Big fan of yours, man. Great to be able to speak to you, man. My first thing is this, and I'm not going to be a nitpicking fan because a win is a win. And shout out to both universities. I'm actually a Southern student. It was great to see not only my university, but see LSU come out and play. The environment was great. It was safe. It was great fun. But my concern is, fellas, similar to the Florida State game, LSU got gashed on the ground today, and against the Southern team that not only were they kind of overmatched, but Southern was a little smaller than LSU was. Should it be reason for concern that Southern rushed for 200 yards tonight against LSU's defense? Is that something to be concerned about going forward?
Jeremy?
Yeah, I think for me, you kind of saw that in that first game against Florida State. They did a good job against the backs. When Florida State tried to run it, but tonight, yeah, Southern had some big gashing lanes. They were making some plays, getting down the field, and obviously, their kicking operation isn't going to be, what a lot of these other SEC teams are. So when they did get some of those, they missed their kicks. But yeah, to me, I'm going to be looking, especially without Mason Smith being in the middle of that defense. I'm going to look to see, how they do against, a lot of these rushing attacks. I think for LSU, with the schedule they play this season, especially next week, it's not like you're rushing against some of these, Trent Richardsons or Mark Ingrams of the world and some teams that are just going to be bones out trying to run the ball down your throat every week. I think that's something that they don't have to worry about as much. But looking at the rush defense, I do think, you're going to have to shore that up, especially with the linebackers and the safeties and making the right fits.
It's 117 total yards for Southern in the first half. The game was over at the end of the first quarter, so I'm wondering how many of those rushing yards were against LSU's first or, in some cases, even second unit. A lot of those yards came in the second half when the issue had been decided. That being said, I've got some concerns about LSU's rush defense too, but I don't know that I feel much differently after this game than I did before because most of those yards came when the issue had been decided. Jules is in Abbeville. Jules, welcome into the show.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello, sir.
Hey, how about Marshall and Kentucky with a couple of nice wins? Charles and Jeremy, I have no idea of any kind of injury status regarding Sage Ryan, but he was a much hyped Acadiana area kid, 5-star. And give me your overall assessment of him. I was expecting another Jamal Adams or LaRon Landry, but up until now, that hasn't been the case. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jules. The first thing I can tell you is he's nowhere near as physical as either one of those guys. That's probably – those two guys are two of the most physical safeties that have ever come through here. Those two and Steve Rehaj would hit you like, rattle your bones. Ryan is not that big of a kid. I mean, Jamal Adams probably played it somewhere around 215, 220 pounds. He was – and Landry, even as a freshman, Landry would knock you out. Yeah. But by the time he got to his last year here, he was downright frightening. I mean, ask those Alabama quarterbacks when he come on those delayed blitzes and he hit them so hard that I felt bad for those guys. But what do you think of Sage Ryan as a prospect?
Yeah, I think Sage, and I think anytime you come in with the 5-star status, you're automatically going to be expected to match up with some of the other 5 stars at your respective positions. And I think for Sage, I just haven't seen that level of domination. To me, when you look up the definition of a 5-star, prospect and what they are, they're people who totally dominate their high school level, and they're totally expected to dominate at the college level. And to me, I don't think Sage is just quite that level of player right now. But I do think he's a good player. I think, you can put him in some punt return situations. You can put him in the slot and things of that nature, and he can make some plays. But when you talk about comparing him to LaRon Landry and Jamal Adams, who are top 10 picks in the NFL draft, I think Sage is nowhere near that level.
I'm trying to come up with a comparable for where he is at this point in his career. Give me Randall Gay played a little bit back there early in his career. Although he was recruited more as a corner, but he could cover. He's got some of the athletic attributes that Blue did when he got here, and I can remember when he was he was back there at the beginning of his career, and Randall Gay was a really good player here and a really good player in the NFL. The guy's got a ring from here and a ring from down the street. It's not a bad career. That a little bit he reminds me of Randall Gay.
Yeah, I think I could see some of that, especially with his ability to play the slot and play the safety position. I think for Sage, anytime you're a safety that's 5'10", being 5'11", if I'm being generous, you're going to have to either have just amazing ball skills, or you're going to have to be a heat-seeking missile out there to really make a difference. And I just haven't seen that from Sage yet. I know he's a young player. He's barely played last season. He's really just getting his feet wet this year. So we'll see how he kind of develops and what he can become. But right now, I think putting him next to LaRon Landry and Jamal Adams, it's not fair to do that to that kid.
No, those kids played from the day they hit campus. They were physically way ahead of most of the prospects at those ages. I mean, Landry as a freshman safety, you play for Nick Saban as a freshman. You're doing something right. So Ryan's not there yet, but he's got time. It's still very and remember, his freshman year was cut short. So a lot of that developmental time that he would have gotten practice in the back end of last year, he didn't have. I think he's going to be fine, but he's not that physical of a player at this point in his career. 499-9898 is the number to call on the LaBerge hotline. We'll take a break. More of your phone calls when we return. Ziegel, 98.1 Game Day.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
Do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Eagle 98.1.
Jimbo Fisher coached his 50th game at A&M today, right?
Yeah.
The record that he has, 35-15. You know what the previous coach's record was? Kevin Sumlin. It threw 50 games.
Through 50 games. He had a little Big 12 wave and then jumped right into the SEC. So I would 50, 40-10.
36-14.
Okay, pretty similar.
Well, one game better. Of course, he got fired and he didn't get the
the $100 million.
The outlandish contract. App State is an eyelash away from being 2-0 with 2 Power 5 wins on the road. I'm sorry. They played North Carolina in Boone, so that's not entirely correct. Mississippi State is just going in. It's 25-10 now. Mississippi State. No, we had some real shockers today. Marshall beats Notre Dame, and for Marcus Freeman, that's now he coached a bowl game, obviously, and then the first 0-3, and I watching Notre Dame and Ohio State last week, I kind of felt like, okay, they're going to be fine. You went to the shoe, you lost. Hey, no shame in that. You told me they were going to come back and lose to Marshall, and I hadn't seen Marshall. I don't know a thing about them really, but I know Notre Dame's not supposed. I know Notre Dame's not supposed to lose to Marshall. I know that. Didn't get that one today. Florida lost it. Kentucky really, I thought, especially in the second half, physically took it to the Gators. Will Levis had a good game, but man, defensively, they put the clamps on pretty much everything that Florida tried to do. And I like Anthony Richardson an awful lot, but they went in there keying on him so much. He did not gain a yard on the ground, and they held him to 14 out of 35 through the air. So we're talking about 4.1 yards per attempt. So out of all of those games, which ones surprised you the most out of these ranked teams that went down?
Texas A&M did not surprise me when I held. I just never believed in what they were doing.
Well, you and Hester have a really healthy dislike for A&M. Was this like a running back room thing, or the subliminal messages going there? Hate A&M.
Look. I think it is maybe a running back thing because we have certain teams we go against and we just know we're gonna walk into 100 yards, and that's just how I felt every time I went against A&M. And to me, they haven't done anything since they joined the SEC to make me be like, you know what? I can see the future in what they're doing. You know what Georgia's doing and kind of what Kirby's built. Like, I could see what Jimbo's. I just have not seen that. So to me, especially looking at their quarterbacks, I told everyone before they played it down this season, I don't like their quarterback room at all. You're seeing that on full display. So to me, seeing A&M have struggles, I just had them at 12 in my SEC power rankings. And look, they just showed you exactly where they belong. But I'm not going to talk too much about Texas A&M because they're showing me exactly what they are. But to me, Kentucky, that was a big-time win. Going into that game, I thought without Roger Gash Jr., their best player to me on that offense, and that obviously the heart of their running attack, I thought it'd be very tough for them to go in that hostile environment. But, a lot of times when you bring out everything you can, every out of your being to take down a top 10 opponent, it's hard to bring that level of intensity, again, for the next week in a row. And I thought Kentucky just came out, playing that brand of SEC football that you have to do on the road, and they found a way to get a big-time win. So to me, you got to tip your cap to Kentucky and what they did going into the Swamp and getting that big-time win.
But the biggest surprise of the games for me was Marshall. I thought, like I said, Notre Dame coming out of that game in Columbus, I thought, okay, they're pretty good. They'll be fine. And I was really surprised to see that game. The best game I saw today was Tennessee and Pitt. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much I know you are.
Yeah, I watched that game too.
I'm a big Hendon Hooker fan. Mm-hmm. Love his game. And you know what? Those two teams went at it, man. Back and forth. It was close throughout. It got to overtime. They had to make some big plays. Hooker made a couple of big plays on the ground, but a couple of key, first down runs on the ground. But he made some big time throws today. But Caden Slovis was right there with him. There was a lot of times you get into the second half of a game, you're like, I know who's going to win. I don't always know who's going to cover, unfortunately. I go on the live line, but I know who's going to win. That was one game where I legitimately, until the clock hit 0, I had doubts as to who was going to win that game. But Tennessee, it came out with a touchdown win in overtime. How high are you on the Vols?
Yeah, to me, anytime you go on the road and you win a game, it's to me it's impressive.
It's a top 20 win on the road.
Yeah, yeah. To me, that's always impressive. We're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and you got 80,000, 70,000 yelling at the top of their lungs, and you're asked to lock in and try to make plays to go win a game. And so, anytime you can go do that, especially in a rivalry like that, I know they played a tight game last year, and then obviously they're going to want to go and kind of give some revenge, and that's exactly what Tennessee did. And so to me, anytime I look at a team, I'm always going to start from the top down, and that's their head coach and their quarterback. And to me, they got two guys on the same page. And anytime you have that Saturday after Saturday, it's going to be tough to slow down. And so I thought for Tennessee, that was a big-time win for them. I know a lot of people are pumping Tennessee and feel like they can do great things. They're there. And I think, right now, I'm not going to pick them to win the East or anything. But, any given Saturday, that's going to be a tough team to get out and try to find a victory against.
They'll be here in a few weeks, and that's going to be one of the taller tasks for that LSU secondary is dealing with Hendon Hooker. All right, got to get your take on the Alabama-Texas game. For me, this was as sloppy a game as Alabama ever plays with the high number of penalties. But the two plays, the one is easy, the field goal. They missed a 20-yard field goal at the end of the first half. Well, obviously Alabama plays it a little bit differently if the score is different. So I don't know if the game ends up exactly the same. But they had a blitz on the last drive, right around the 45-yard line, and the blitz came clean. And Bryce Young, give him credit, ducked right under it. And it should have been an easy sack. Nobody touched the guy. And it would have forced Alabama to call their final timeout inside of 35 seconds, and they would have been back at right around the 45-yard line, maybe just a little bit inside of the 45-yard line. That's the one. I can't tell you what happens if Texas kicks that field goal at the end of the first half, how the game might have played out differently. But the other play was late enough in the game, Jeremy, that I know if they get Young on the ground there at the 40, right around the 45-yard line, just inside the 45-yard line, it's going to be hard for Alabama. I'm not saying they wouldn't have got into position and kicked the field goal anyway, but that would have really put all of the pressure on them. And when Texas looks at that film, to me, that'll be the one that they look at and go, that's the play that got away from us.
Yeah, and to me, I know it's easy to kind of point to that play, but I said it the second they kicked that field goal. I'm like, man, that's a world of time. You're leaving Bryce Young. I don't know if you're just going to get a 3-and-out. Damn sure not a 4-and-out, and then just not get any first down to Texas win that game. And so I thought that was a world of time, but I think you're right. I think anytime you get a free rusher at the quarterback, especially at a spot of the field they were in, you would have been, definitely out of field goal range at that point, and it would have made it so tough for them. With no timeouts, you pretty much got to get a first down or get out of bounds before that clock's really beating against you. So I thought for Texas, you definitely it's demoralizing. I think you can't play that Alabama team any better. I know they would have loved to have their quarterback. I don't know what Nick's doing with the football gods every time he goes against Texas, getting their quarterback out the game. Yeah, but
his Ewers looked really good.
Yeah, he did. He was making some big-time throws down the field. I thought right before he got hurt, he made a big-time throw to get them right in the red zone. And so you figure if you're Texas, you feel great about, going against get that Alabama defense and with your quarterback, but you lose your quarterback. But I thought Card played well enough, man. Anytime your backup quarterback comes into the game, you don't want that guy ruining your chances of winning. I thought he played well enough to give them a chance, but, Bama just did enough. You talk about playing for 60 minutes. That's what they did. They played for 60 minutes, found a way to get a big-time win on the road, and now they go on, and it's looking like it's going to be hard for anyone to knock them off.
They schemed him, man. They came up with the perfect defensive call. How often do you catch Saban flat-footed like that? And I don't know if they botched the protection or if this was something that Texas, we got this in our pocket. We know that we can run this. If we see this look, we can run this. We're going to get a clean alley to the quarterback. They schemed him, man. They call a perfect play, and they missed it. Baylor trying to put together a game-winning drive here on the BYU side of the 50, under 3 minutes to go. This is tied at 20. Baylor missed an extra point in the first half. That obviously be a big things would be a lot different if they had made that extra point. But trying to get in for the game-winning points here against what has been a really, really physical BYU team in this game. This has been a real physical game on both sides from the very beginning. and a packed house in Provo. These teams are going to be conference foes next year. We'll take a break. We'll come back and take a look at the stat line here. All of the scores in college football. Game ball still to come. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Stat Check. Presented by Luba. Luba, genuine dependability.
All right, here's your yardstick from tonight. LSU with 23 first downs, Southern with 15 first downs. Total yards, 550 for the Tigers, 262 for the Jaguars. Through the air, LSU 23 of 34, 320 yards. Southern 9 of 17 for 61 yards. Rushing attempts, though, were a lot closer. LSU 36 carries for 230 yards, 6.4 yards per carry. Southern 42 carries, 201 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. Third down efficiency, LSU 7 out of 12. Southern was only 2 out of 10. Penalties in the game, LSU with 6 for 40. Southern with only 2 penalties for 8 yards. They did turn the ball over 5 times, however. Time of possession, and LSU turned it over twice. Time of possession, a small edge to LSU, 31:08 to 28:52. Individually, Garrett Nussmeier, 13 of 23 for 183 yards, no touchdowns and 2 picks. Jaden Daniels, 10 out of 11 for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns. Bashawn McCray, 9 of 16 for Southern for 61 yards and an interception. Rushing, Armani Goodwin, this is a career high for him, 12 carries for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Noah Kane, 10 carries for 51 yards and a score. Jaden Daniels and Josh Williams also scored touchdowns on the ground tonight for LSU. Gerard Sims, 15 carries for 79 yards for Southern. And McCray, the quarterback, carried 12 times for 47 yards. Kerry Ligon was the lone Southern running back to score a touchdown tonight. Receiving, Malik Neighbors, 3 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. So, this is 2 weeks in a row, Jeremy, that the last week the punt returns got to him, but he came back after the second fumble on the game, what should have been the game-time drive. It caught two balls. So he very quickly mentally back into the game. And tonight, even though he wasn't on punt return, ends up being LSU's leading receiver on the night.
Yeah, I thought that was I've had a word of confidence in Malik since I laid eyes on him. When he was a freshman, he was making big-time plays in camp and not scared of any DB, and that's a DB room with Elias Ricks and Derek Stingley. He did not care. He's going right after those guys. And so, to me, to see him, making those plays at the receiver position is not shocking at all. I think, he has the grit and the tenacity to go out there and want to win consistently. And so, to see him out there and see the coaches trust him to go out there and make plays, I thought was huge. I would have still loved them to get some love at punt return, but, if they got some guys who are a little more sure-handed, I think that's good too, because Malik's going to make plays at receiver.
Brian Thomas, 2 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Chris Hilton, 5 catches for 47 yards. Keyshawn Boutte, 5 catches for 42 yards. Jack Besh caught only 1 ball tonight, but it was for a touchdown from 17 yards out. For Southern, the leading receiver, Cornelius Dyson, 29 yards through the air tonight. Defensively, LSU was led by Harold Perkins, who had 7 total tackles on the night. Savion Jones had 6 total tackles. We saw a lot of the backup defensive linemen in this game. B.J. Ojolari did not dress tonight. Ali Gay missed the first half with the suspension for the targeting. Of course, Mason Smith was not there, so LSU had some playing time available to a lot of the younger players. Desmond Little had 6 tackles in the game tonight. Also, Jacoby Jones for Southern led the way. He had 8 tackles on the night, and Jalen Campbell had 6. Punting tonight, LSU punted twice for a 43.5-yard average. Southern punted 3 times for a 34.5-yard average, and that is your stat check. BYU has the football back. They are up around just shy of their 40-yard line with a minute to go and counting. That score is tied at 20. Mississippi State with a turnover with a long return by Arizona inside the 10-yard line. They punch it in to cut that lead for State to 25-17. About 6 minutes to go in the third quarter out in Tucson. We'll take a break, come back, give you all the scores around college football. That's next, Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Protect your home with dependable roof repair and service. GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
WDGL and HD1 Baton Rouge.
I am Juliet, daughter of Marguerite, granddaughter of Gabriel Piera. I come from a line of strong women who knew struggle and success too. Still, I was scared by my breast cancer diagnosis, but I had Blue Cross coverage, which meant I got care from top doctors. I'm strong like my mother and her mother before her. The right card, the right care.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
.98.1. The Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln College Football Scoreboard. Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln, on airline under the giant American flag.
So we're playing coach over here in the last waning seconds of Baylor and BYU. BYU has football just inside the 20 now with 23 seconds to go. They don't have any timeouts left. The game's tied at 20. And you're saying you go ahead and you kick it now.
Yeah, if I was BYU at the time, with the clock running,
it's second down now.
Yeah, it's second down. I would have got to the ball. I would have spiked it with probably 3 or 4 seconds left and kicked the field goal, go about my day. But
so you don't have to. Baylor calls a timeout because if they do make the field goal, they want to have some kind of clock. They put a second back left on the clock, so it's 23 seconds now.
Yeah, you got to run a play here. They'll run a play here. Do the same thing you were going to do anyway.
You get on the hash you want, wherever your kicker wants it.
Yep, and then you get the spike team out there right on the ball. You spike it if Baylor's not going to call timeout.
Baylor's going to have to call timeout.
Yeah, they're probably trying to give themselves a chance to get a kick return or get one more offensive play where they lateral it. But, it's for BYU, you're in crunch time to win this game.
So. And the 18-yard line.
I don't know why
he's dropping back to pass. He's going to throw to the end zone. Yeah, it's out of bounds.
Yeah,
okay. He threw it. He threw it in the vicinity of the end zone, but he sailed it enough. So that makes it 3rd down with 18 seconds to go in a tie ball game between BYU and Baylor. All right, the other game is two games that are still going on. One of them in Tucson, Arizona, and Mississippi State. State leads at 25-17 with about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The other game that is in progress right now is Fresno State leading Oregon State 26-21. 4 minutes to go in the game there. Oregon State with the ball inside the 35-yard line of Fresno State. Earlier today, number 1 Alabama beat Texas 20-19. Bryce Young threw for 213 yards and a touchdown. Number 2 Georgia, no problem with Samford, 33-0. Stetson Bennett IV, the law firm, throws for 300 even today and a touchdown. Number 3 Ohio State, no problems with Arkansas State, 45-12. C.J. Stroud threw 4 touchdown passes today for the Buckeyes. Number 4 Michigan, an easy time with Hawaii, 56-10. The final in that one. Hang on, let's see. It's a 36-yard attempt to give BYU the lead, and he missed it. He missed it pretty significantly too. That leaves 8 seconds to go for Baylor. 2 timeouts. They're way on their end. I'm probably going to kneel it here if I'm Baylor. Where I'm at field position-wise with only 8 seconds to go, there's way more bad things can happen. I'm going to overtime. And here come the Surrender Cobras from BYU. All right. So more football. Number 5 Clemson beat Furman 35-12 today. Appalachian State beat number 6 Texas A&M 17-14. They held Texas A&M to only 9 first downs on the day and only 7 offensive points. The other touchdown was a kickoff return. Number 7 Oklahoma beat Kent State 33-3. You know what's surprising to me about this game? This looks like one of those things where it was a very easy, and Baylor will kneel it out and they'll go to overtime. This looked like one of those real easy wins if you just look at the score. Mm-hmm. Jeremy, with about a minute to go in the first half, Oklahoma hadn't scored. They scored. They were behind 3-0 with about a minute to go in the first half. Dylan Gabriel threw 3 touchdowns for Oklahoma. Marshall pulling one of the other big upsets of the day, 26-21 over number 8 Notre Dame. Travis Buckner threw 2 interceptions for Notre Dame. Falls to 0-2 on the season. Number 10 USC beat Stanford 41-28. Caleb Williams threw for 341 yards and 4 touchdowns for the Trojans. Number 11 Oklahoma State moves to 2-0. They beat Arizona State 34-17. Spencer Sanders, threw a pair of touchdown passes for the Cowboys. Number 20 Kentucky beat number 12 Florida 26-16. Will Levis threw for 202 yards and a touchdown. Kentucky held Anthony Richardson to under 1 yard of rushing today. He rushed for, I think, statistically 3/4 of a yard. Number 13 Utah beat Southern Utah 73-7. Number 14 Michigan State over Akron 52-0. Number 16 Miami was a tough first half for the Canes, but they beat Southern Miss 30-7, pulling away with a 20-7 second half. Number 16 Arkansas beat South Carolina 44-30, despite 376 yards through the air for Spencer Rattler. Number 24 Tennessee beat number 17 Pitt on the road. This was in overtime. Hendon Hooker threw for 325 yards and 2 scores for the Vols. Number 18 NC State beat Charleston Southern 55-3. With Washington State, this is another top 20 upset, beat number 19 Wisconsin 17-14. Number 22 Ole Miss, an easy time with Central Arkansas. They won it 59-3. Jackson Dart threw a couple of touchdown passes. Number 23 Wake Forest beat Vanderbilt 45-25. First loss of the season for the Doors. Texas Tech in double overtime beat number 25 Houston 33-30. Minnesota over Western Illinois 62-10. It was Duke over Northwestern 31-23. Penn State beat Ohio 46-10. It was North Carolina over Georgia State 35-28. Tar Heels have already played 3 games. They're 3-0. Another overtime game for Texas San Antonio. They beat Army today 41-38. Only 1 overtime needed this time. Kansas State beat Missouri 40-12. It was South Alabama over Central Michigan 38-24. Temple beat Lafayette 30-14. Western Michigan over Ball State 37-30. Air Force beat Colorado 41-10. It was Memphis over Navy 37-13. Cincinnati beat Kennesaw State 63-10. Maryland over Charlotte 56-21. Cal beat UNLV 20-14. It was Washington over Portland State 52-6. Iowa State beat Iowa 10-7. Didn't see very much of this game, but I heard it got pretty chippy up there. These two teams don't care for each other all that much. Illinois beat Virginia 24-3. Purdue over Indiana State 56-0. Rutgers beat Wagner 66-7. Wyoming over Northern Colorado 33-10. Eastern Kentucky beat Bowling Green 59-57. They only played 7 overtimes in Bowling Green, Ohio today. James Madison beat Norfolk State 63-7. It was Middle Tennessee over Colorado State 34-19. UCLA beat Alabama State 45-7. And Cornet Word over Nevada 55-41. Kansas beat West Virginia 55-42. That was in overtime. So all kinds of notes from this game. First of all, JT Daniels threw for 3 touchdowns for West Virginia in a losing effort, but I didn't get the score wrong. This was a 13-point overtime win. It's only happened 3 times since 1996. It's also the first time that Kansas has started 2-0 since 2011. It's also the first time they've beaten West Virginia in Morgantown. East Carolina beat Old Dominion 39-21. It was Holy Cross over Buffalo 37-31. Miami of Ohio beat Robert Morris 31-14. Florida Atlantic over Southeastern Louisiana 42-9. Liberty beat UAB 21-14. Syracuse dumped UConn 48-14. Georgia Tech over Western Carolina 35-17. Toledo over UMass 55-10. Weber State beat Utah State 35-7. Tulane shut out Alcorn 52-0. SMU beat Lamar 45-16. South Florida over Howard 42-20. Tulsa beat Northern Illinois 38-35. UL Lafayette beat Eastern Michigan 49-21. Troy over Alabama A&M 38-17. Texas State beat Florida International 41-12. La Tech over Stephen F. Austin 52-17. Auburn beat San Jose State 24-16. They were alternating quarterbacks, TJ Finley and Robbie Ashford in the second half for the Tigers. Georgia Southern beat Nebraska 45-42. They put the game-winning drive together for the winning points inside of a minute. Nebraska falls to 1-2 in the season. It's yet another one-score loss for Scott Frost, whose days are likely numbered in Lincoln. North Texas beat Texas Southern 59-27. It was Rice over McNeese 52-10. TCU beat Tarleton State 59-17. Virginia Tech over Boston College 27-10. San Diego State over Idaho State 38-7. UL Monroe beat Nichols 35-7. Arcade. Oregon beat Eastern Washington 70-14. It was Indiana over Idaho 35-22. UTEP beat New Mexico State 20-13, and Coastal Carolina beat Gardner-Webb 31-27. We got going on here in the overtime as BYU and Baylor are tied at 20, starting the first overtime. Who got the ball?
Baylor just had a holding call. They had a touchdown, but it got called back for holding.
Okay, so they will retain possession of the ball, be behind the sticks. Mississippi State leads Arizona still 25-17. They are going to let the clock run out here in the third quarter. So they'll go to the fourth in Tucson. And that is your college football scoreboard. Game balls are next. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Game Balls. Presented by WCK Foundation Repair. Support your home team. WCK Foundation Repair.
All right, I can tell you that Baylor missed a field goal in the overtime. BYU with the ball now, third down, and they are at the 23-yard line. They've gained 2 yards in the 2 plays, so they'll play third down and 8 from the 23-yard line of Baylor. Who you got for game balls tonight?
Yeah, game balls on offense, I'm going with Jaden Daniels. I thought his play at the quarterback position definitely uplifted this team, and the offense looked actually respectable, and it looked like exactly how you want a unit to be running, and that's efficient. And definitely, an offense that scored quickly and swiftly. So, to me, offense, I think you got to go Jaden Daniels with what he did with this team based off of last week. And to me, on defense, I'm going to go with Michael Baskerville. I thought that was a guy that I thought would be a pencil-in starter on the defensive linebacker position and be a guy that you don't take the game out of the game at all. But I thought for him being a guy that was in the rotation coming in this week, getting a big-time pick since, blocking a punt, got to give it to Michael Baskerville for defense.
37-yarder for the win for BYU. No good.
Ooh.
Wide left for the second time, so they're going to double OT. Remember, Baylor had a touchdown taken off the board in the overtime with a holding penalty. Mississippi State, 4th down and 3 from the Arizona 5. They go for it. They get the touchdown pass. This time they convert the extra point. 32 to 15. No, 32 to 17. 32 to 17.
17. Yeah.
32 to 17. That was the second play of the fourth quarter. So BYU and Baylor going to double overtime. State with a 15-point lead early in the fourth quarter in Tucson. I'm going with Armani Goodwin, my offensive game ball. Thought he had a real nice night running the football. 12 carries for 85 yards and a couple of touchdowns. And defensively, you know what, Jeremy? I'm gonna give it to this guy, and I think that before he's done in purple and gold, he's going to have quite a few of these. I'm going with Harold Perkins.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that.
Young man had 7 tackles tonight, his first really extensive playing time. I think that he's going to be a starter before the season is over, and I think he's got a real bright future. He had a real nice game tonight with 7 tackles. So Harold Perkins gets my defensive game ball. Man, we still got football going on. We got compelling football going on. I need to stick around here for a little while. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and set the stage for next week as LSU will play these same Mississippi State Bulldogs. We'll do that when we return. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 game day wrapping up. BYU scored to make it 26-20 in the second overtime. They were going for two. They missed two short kicks, not as short as an extra point, but two short kicks. So they just decided to go for two.
No, you have to go for two now.
I'm sorry, that's right.
New
you
rules.
have to go for two now.
Yep.
So I got my new overtime rules now. And
Yeah.
got to
And
go
then
for two, and then in
they
the
go for
third
two.
overtime is just going for two. All right, so they get a holding penalty on Baylor on the 2-point try. So Baylor's going to get to try this again, and then Baylor will get the ball with an opportunity to come back and tie it. Mississippi State leads Arizona 32-17, and they will be getting the ball back as Arizona goes 3-and-out on their subsequent possession. All right, next week, these same Mississippi State Bulldogs will be here in Baton Rouge. It is a 5 o'clock kick, a little bit of an unusual time with a 5 o'clock kick for LSU and Mississippi State. Will be on the air, Eagle 98.1 pregame starting at noon from Rouse's. Brian Kelly press conference on Monday, so Handy Time will be on an hour early at 11 o'clock. Hunt and Hill in their normal time slot at 1 o'clock following the BK press conference. Final score once again, LSU wins it 65-17 over Southern University. For Jeremy Hill and all of us here at the studios of the flagship, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good evening. This has been Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
LSU Football Today has been brought to you by BetRivers.net, the free-to-play site where you can sample casino games and sports bet for free. Don't miss all the purple and gold action all season long right here on Eagle 98.1, presented by BetRivers.net. We are the Rock Station, Eagle 98.1.